as Andrew mentioned, really great segue to talk about how late is too late, how early is too early. On the next two slides, we really wanted to give this group a visual aid of what we typically see as a timeline from evaluation to really the end of migration overall. Let's unpack those three sections as Andrew had mentioned. Just looking at the features list in general, maybe this is a great point to take a quick screenshot, although I think we'll be sharing this deck after this webinar as well. But if features are the most important area for your team, here's a checklist of some of those questions that you should not only be asking yourself, the teams that you work with, but also really understanding from vendors during your demos. Segmentations and automation are really often the top of the list and where people are thinking first. Don't overlook some of these more important areas, however.
Of capturing right at the get-go.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, I love that question and that poll, and capturing more data right now is totally the most important thing that we can do, and especially capturing that unique data that's going to be helpful in your email flows, in your SMS flows, and finding the right channel for you. So with Just and migration, we do come into play as you're starting out that migration or at the end of migration. So with Just ultimately, our goal is to capture that information and pass it along to your service provider. So that can be survey information, mentioned before, anything from product preferences, the URL that they're visiting, anything that can really be more specific and help provide more data on what your efforts are off-site. That's what we're trying to produce on-site and pass along. So we're able to use something like single line text to have a one question survey. Maybe what's your reason for shopping, or who are you shopping for, depending on the season. Things like consent can also help here, maybe a special date that they have in mind, or if we want to put them on a special birthday list. Those are just specific data, customer data points that we can capture and send along. But we just want to make sure that it's getting to the right place. So once you do have these best practices set up and you feel good with what you've launched, we do have industry benchmarks that we can look at.
I think this is really going to tap in and hit that middle bucket, that second option that we had listed there, where maybe you're still having a difficult time really understanding the core differences. So I'm hoping that this section here will help bring some of those items to light. Although it's not a side-by-side comparison of feature sets, they are really important things to really think about